Hi everyone, it's Matt again. Today's lesson is going to be all about tuning the guitar. So here I am with my out-of-tune guitar. Let's hear how the strings sound. Sounds very modern or just out of tune. So we encounter out-of-tune guitars, we got to make it happen. We got to make them in tune. So we're going to talk about a few different ways to do it. We're going to use an app for your smartphone. We're going to try to talk about the way it works with a tuner that clamps on or a standalone tuner. And finally, we'll talk about tuning to a relative pitch. So here we go. First, I got this app open. It's on my phone here. We'll be able to display this on the screen for you. And this app is called Guitar Tuna, like the fish. And I think it was free or close to free. A lot of my students use it. It seems to work pretty well. So I'm going to use this one, and I'm going to go string by string to get it in tune. What you'll see with this tuner and others is you'll play a pitch, and it'll automatically read what pitch you're closest to. So if you're trying to tune the E string, but it says G, that means that maybe you're so far sharp that you're closer to a G than an E. So you have to watch out for things like that. But other than that, it's pretty easy to do. It just takes a little bit of practice. So here's the E string. I play it, and it's saying I'm sharp. It's saying I'm too high. So this app starts out red, and as you get closer to the pitch that is accurate, it gets more green. And then you'll hear an alert sign saying that you're in tune, and it gives you a little check mark. You can move on. Next one would be the B string. B string says I'm quite flat. So the red dot is there. I move it. I tune up, change the pitch up, and it gets greener and greener until it gets in tune. And there we go. I've got the B string in tune. Moving to the G now. The G string, open. Oh, I guess this one wasn't really out of tune. That one was all good. So it plays the sound that says I'm in tune, and I move on to D. D is quite sharp, so I'm using the tuning peg to bring the pitch lower. And there I go. My D string is in tune. Got two more to go. The A string is next. And that was flat, so I'm coming up, waiting for it to turn. And there we go, it's in tune, it's green, it gives me the check mark sign. And now the E string's quite low. It actually says too low right on there, and the icon, it goes far to the left. And as I move it up, it goes closer to the center. And the center, visually speaking, is what's in tune. And now my guitar is in tune. And it sounds pretty good. So that's how you use an app to tune the guitar. There's many great ones. Different students of mine have showed me different things that they use that they like. So the next thing is I'm going to get the guitar out of tune, and I'm going to use a relative tuning. So let's just randomly change these and get them out. Randomly change the notes, get them out of tune. But I'm going to leave the A string in tune. And the reason why I'm going to do that is because I'm going to show you a way that if you just get one string in tune, you can tune the rest of them from there. Or even if it's even close, you can get them close to there. Or let's say, you know, you're on a desert island and you haven't heard accurate pitch in months. You could just tune it from that and just still play guitar. You might be a little sharp or flat, but anyway, you're going to tune it relatively to a string. So I choose this A string, which is in tune. So what I'm telling you is that this A string is in tune, and I'm going to tune the others to that string. So I want to make sure that the others are in tune. The E string right now is not in tune. So I have to go up at 5 frets on the E string. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here I am. And then I'm going to play these two notes together. Those pitches should sound the same, and right now they don't. So I'm going to adjust until they do. And you'll hear that as you get close, they'll become consonant and not have that dissonant sound that's almost like a oscillating yeah sound. So now they're in tune. I know that sounded silly, but musicians know what I'm talking about. So now the E string and A string are in tune. I can check. I have a nice fifth here. Moving on then. So now I need to tune the D string. The A string, again, that was in tune. So I'm tuning the D string here. So in order to get a note on the A string that's the same as the D, it should be the 5th fret. So I go up to the 5th fret of the A string. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm going to play those two notes together. And and they were pretty much in tune already. I didn't change them enough. So now I've got E, A, and D in tune. So if I play root, fifth octave, got a nice power chord, or E, A, D, they're in tune. So now I'm moving up to the G string, which should be a fourth above. Get it a little bit out of tune for you. So now it's obviously, that's not a fourth, that's not in tune. So I have to come up to the fifth fret of the D string and play and get them to match. So my D string was in tune, I'm going to adjust the G string like that until they're in tune. Get close. And there we go, that sounds pretty good. So let's hear them. E, A, D, G. They're all fourths. They sound pretty well in tune. Now the next pitch I need to get is the second string, which is the B string. And that needs to be a third, a major third higher than the G, going from G to B. So that means I have to go up 4 frets. 1, 2, 3, 4. So here I am at the fourth fret of the G is the B note, and then I'm going to play the B string open. They need to match. So all the others were fifth. This one's the fourth. This one's the one different one. So let's try to tune that up. I change the pitch till they sound the same. Okay? I've got one left, and that's, I've got E, A, D, G, B, and now I need to get the E string in tune. So make sure it's out of tune first for you. So it's out of tune E string. I'm going to try to get that in tune. So here I go to the fifth fret of the B string. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I got to change that E string. There we go. So now I've got all 6 strings in tune. I play a few chords, and I'm ready to go. My guitar is in tune. So that's the way to use a relative tuning. There's another way to do that using harmonics, which is something I use quite a bit actually, but I'm not going to show it to you right now because it's a separate skill to just be able to play the harmonics. So forget about that. When you're ready, use the fretted system to get the relative pitch, and that's how that works. Okay? So one of the things that went on there is I said the names of the strings. I just assumed that you knew them. So let's go over that real quick. The strings are numbered like floors in a building. And what I mean by that is, when you're talking about string numbers, the lowest is the first number. And as you get higher from the floor, the numbers go up, just like they would in a building. So this is the first string. This is the second string. This is the third string. This is the fourth string. Then you have the fifth and sixth. So often guitar players will talk about the strings by their numbers. That's pretty common. We'll also call them by their names. Their names come from the pitch that's played in standard tuning when they're open. So first string is the E string. It's E. Second string is the B string. That's B. Third string is the G string, and that's G. It's a G open pitch. That's why it's called G. The fourth string is the D string. Excuse me. And the fifth string is the A string. And finally, I get to the sixth string, and I've got a low E note. Okay? So those are the string names. You're going to need to know those. Those are important. If you don't bother to memorize them, when you're in conversations with guitar players and when you're going through these classes, I'll just refer to them. I'm on the third fret of the G string. I'm on the second fret of the B string, whatever. You need to know where those are. So that's how you remember. There's a couple ways that I've used to remember the names of the strings. I had a really enthusiastic young student a few years ago who was having trouble remembering the names of the strings. So he came up with this acronym. Eat all day, get big, explode. So eat all day, get big, explode. Keep in mind a fifth grader came up with that one, but I haven't forgot it ever since he showed me. Again, that's from low to high. Eat all day, get big, explode. Okay? So you need to come up with yours or use that one, some way of remembering the names of the strings. And if you're going to be teaching the instrument, you want to teach your students the same thing. It's really important. That way, when you're having these conversations and you're throwing out all these different instructions to your students, and you just want to use the string names, they can quickly get there and know what you're talking about. So that's the end of the tuning thing. Try to tune your own guitars. I again encourage you to get the app or try a standalone machine. So there's a few different other things you can do. You can go to, if you don't like the app or you aren't a smartphone user, you're not wanting to be plugged in like that, I can understand that, of course. You can get a standalone device, and the way it works is it's like a clip that goes on the headstock of your guitar, and you can leave it there and leave it on all the time. And anytime you want to tune, you just refer to it. So those are really great. A lot of people would use that on stage so that they aren't referring, they don't have to get their phone out between songs, you know, while they're performing. That's not practical. Or sometimes people use a standalone device, sit on their lap, or if they're playing electric guitar, put in their signal path and use it that way. So you have a few different options. You can just go online or go to your local music store and talk to them about tuners and get the one that works best for you. So anyway, thanks for checking it out, and we're going to move on to chords now.